It's rather strong.
Only the Scottish could dream up such a drink.
It is needed to fight the bitter cold up there.
Oh, do not frighten me more than I already am.
Hello everyone, this is Venus Brown. I'm back for the season finale of Bridgerton. This is season 3, episode 8, called Into the Light. Now I didn't realize last week's was the penultimate, but now I know, so...
Penultimate?
Do you not understand what a penultimate episode is? It's the episode before the final episode.
Oh, okay. I'm like, does that have something to do with Penelope?
So it's called Into the Light. I'm assuming that is some kind of positive thing. Let's hope so. As, yeah, I'd prefer they just, go off into the night in a positive situation. Like they appear to be in the books that I've read so far. I have not read Penelope and Colin's story yet. And the whole reason that I read the books out of order is because I actually got the second book set first and then had to go back for the first book set because the book set was sold out where my husband had gotten it. So I started reading the second book set. Then we went on vacation and I had finished one of those. I grabbed the other and we ended up buying the other book set while we were on vacation. And after I finished that second book, then I started reading one of the ones from the first book set. It's all mixed up, but it is what it is. I am kind of enjoying, though, the intermingling of the relationships within the season. I know there were some people that were complaining about that a little bit, at least from the articles that I've read, but I'm liking it. I enjoy that there is little bits and pieces of these other relationships being sprinkled into the seasons. I mean, that's the way relationships tend to work. They don't just happen in one season and never exist outside of that season or whatever, so it makes sense to me. I think the last one that I read, I realized when I was reading it that it was like intermingling. You could see that 3 different relationships came together, like not exactly the same time, but almost the same time. I was like, holy cow. Penelope and Colin's marriage, Eloise and this other guy's marriage, and then I don't remember who the other 2 were. My memory is not great. I have a short-term memory problem, but yeah, I know there was one other couple in very close order of each other. But anyway, I think it's time for us to start the show.
Good morning. How did you sleep?
Fitfully. I am off to Bridgeton House for breakfast.
But my mother is coming.
I'll give you and your mother some privacy.
Oh, you do not have to leave.
I wish to.
Good morning, Mama. Cressida.
I trust you had a happy wedding night?
What are you doing here?
Paying a visit to the esteemed Lady Whistledown. I know your secret.
Whatever you think you know, you're incorrect. Now I wish for you to leave.
You are going to pay me double the Queen's reward, or I will tell everyone of your true identity.
No one would believe you, Cressida.
Lady Featherington, Penelope and I were just discussing whether or not I'm to be believed. Let us find out. Think of your daughter's love of the written word. Think of how she is so easily overlooked. Think of how all those she views as enemies end up humiliated, and then ask yourself, how it took you this long to realize she is the true Lady Whistledown. Pay me my sum, or I will reveal the truth to the entire ton. Enjoy your morning, ladies.
Penelope.
Tell me it is not true.
For once, Cressida does not lie.
I have fought with every tool at my disposal to claw us out of ruin. My own blood has been sowing the seeds of our ruin all along. How could you, Penelope? Does your husband know? Oh, he would have grounds for an annulment. Even the most sanctimonious bishop would grant.
Well, I do not wish to lie anymore. I must tell Colin.
Well, I would forbid it. But clearly my word is not one you choose to follow.
I must get dressed.
I was wondering how we would come around to that. The Bridgertons are such favourites of yours.
And then, will you command her to stop writing? Lock her in a dungeon?
What are you trying to say?
Lady Danbury.
I am onto something, aren't I?
I am simply saying, perhaps Lady Whistledown is not trying to beat you at your own game. Perhaps she is merely trying to stay in the game.
As a vulnerable player.
A feeling, perhaps, you can relate to.
Perhaps a long time ago.
A long time ago.
You could have had me in checkmate.
But then the game would be over early. And what fun is there in that?
As our bellies grow, so too will the ton's appreciation of our efforts.
Have you ever seen a lady with child at a ball, Philippa?
But no.
That is because once women start showing, they are expected to retreat from society. Philippa and I are going to host a ball centered on the colour purple.
And orange.
Crystal
and gold.
And hundreds of flowers.
And we can have bugs.
Should we discuss the budget?
Of course. It should be very, very large.
Should be very, very large. They are so special.
We are out like any other family, having ice cream and planning a wedding. There is still going to be a wedding.
It is only that John and I are going to apply for a special license so that we can have a simple, small ceremony at home, after which we shall retreat to John's family estate.
To avoid any further bluster.
I suppose that is wise. Your Oxfordshire estate cannot be more than a day's ride away.
We should like to take residence at John's primary estate.
In Scotland?
It's not too far from Glasgow.
That must be at least a fortnight's ride away.
Oh, it is why I so enjoy staying there.
The distance creates a true sense of peace.
I cannot wait for the quiet.
Almost like somebody else you know, huh? Get married and move away.
Oh, I think it's later on. No, I better not say anything.
How are you?
It's too much of a spoiler. So
Trying not to think about yesterday?
Do not let your marriage be the scar.
No.
You know you will eventually resolve things.
What are you doing here? I was not expecting to see you till later this afternoon.
She knows, Colin, you don't have to hide your ire.
Miss Bridgerton.
She knows everything as well.
So glad to see the whole of Mayfair seem to know before your own mother.
And why do we all suddenly know that we know?
Because Cressida discovered my secret.
If she knows, we must prevent her from revealing it.
I'm not asking for your help. I merely wanted to be honest with you.
It is not up to you what we do. We'll besmirch our Bridgerton name, and I will not stand for anyone blackmailing my wife.
Well, that is certainly a relief to hear.
No, that is kind, Colin, but I can pay her.
You have made that higher sum.
Slightly more, if we're being honest.
All this time?
I will not cower to Miss Cowper. I will call upon her tomorrow. It is the only way forward.
she's like, let me fucking speak for myself. I wonder if that relationship I was talking about is like Dorian Gray
Mr. Bridgerton.
or something. There's like a Dorian Gray
I can have a moment alone
audio
with your daughter.
series that
What the Tom might
I've
say
been
to
seeing
me,
three-way
if you think this is not...
Imagine being so ignored. You feel invisible. It does not excuse what she has done. But perhaps it is understandable that at times her column has reflected the cruelty around her, a cruelty I imagine you have felt too. And she did not savage you in her latest column. Even Penelope can find grace for you. Do you not see that the Ton, too, will forgive you? Your father will welcome you back to London when all this passes. A family's love is enduring.
Not always.
That is the difference between you and me. You take for granted that you will always have your family's support. We are not the same, Mr. Bridgerton. And we never will be.
Now is not a good time. I am expecting a visitor.
Have no fear, ladies.
Of all the house staff in London, I must be the most experienced.
Cressida has her reasonable moments. Let us hope today is one.
Apparently not.
Did you truly like her?
It seems I have made everything worse.
This is my fault entirely.
What do we do now?
Have to ask Benedict to sign off on such a large expenditure.
You would tell your brother about Penelope's identity?
No. I will have to invent some kind of a lie.
It is not a happy outcome.
I suppose I should not have expected any more from Cressida. I'm so very grateful.
Okay, I'm thinking because this is called Into the Light that she's going to bring it into the light one way or another. At least at this point, that's what I'm thinking.
I am hopeful that she will soon find another distraction. Speaking of which...
It's rather strong.
Only the Scottish could dream up such a drink.
It is needed to fight the bitter cold up there.
Oh, do not frighten me more than I already am.
At first, it was quite harsh on the palate. Time, it grows on one.
It's still harsh.
You will have my support in Francesca's absence. And also my brother's.
We do not have to discuss that.
But perhaps we should.
Yeah,
Lord Anderson has been an emperor.
Last time he was with her.
You may do as you wish. After all, it is not as though I asked your permission.
Suddenly going down rather smoothly.
You know.
I know my father was a good man, and that you have been a very good friend. That is all I need to know.
And my brother is a good man. And you are a good friend. And that is all I need to know as well. But if he sours things between the two of you, I will
pick you over him. I shall not lose
you for his folly.
There is nary a man alive with such power.
How do you stand society events?
I suppose I feel I have love to give in abundance.
Love for a
bit of chit-chat and love for a good party. Especially party of three.
I only need a blanket for the settee.
Of course. I'm going to have tea with my mother before your sister's wedding, but I would spare you the confines of a shared carriage.
What are you hiding, Mr. Holmes?
I pray you have sufficient evidence for all the accusations.
All the evidence I shall need. I thought it quite curious that you came into such a fortune just as Jack Featherington ran away. From what I hear, she was in a perpetual state of poverty. The Crown will agree that the Featherington title should be transferred to a more scrupulous family. I shall be submitting my discoveries to the royal authorities this week.
Come on, they can't catch a break.
Is your money the money cousin Jack took from the Ton?
It's not as if any of them needed that money.
You stole from them!
You humiliated them. What you and I have done is not different.
What you have done is a crime.
I did what I had to do to protect this family. You know, it's no easy thing being a parent. How was I to raise daughters when all my life I was taught that all power comes from a man? What you have done entirely on your own. It is a great regret of mine that I've overlooked you for so long.
You and I both.
We have done the best we can with the opportunities that society has afforded us. Perhaps there were other ways, but at the time I could not see them. What will Lady Whistledown write about our disgrace when I am exposed?
She will write whatever I like her to.
That is a great power. What a thing you have made for yourself.
Thank you. Perhaps we are more alike than I care to admit.
If we survive this round, we must do better.
Now I fear I may be losing you for good.
Mama, it is the opposite. It is difficult, sometimes, to hear my own voice amidst the noise of this house. With John, I hear myself more and more. The silence and beauty of Scotland will allow me to know myself better, so that you can all know me better as well.
You are already so wise beyond your years. You will do very well in Scotland.
I take thee to be my lawful wedded wife, till death do us part.
I take thee to be my lawful husband, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
May you now live together in holy matrimony until your dying breath.
She looks happy. If that is the case, who are we to judge?
You should be grateful to Lord Anderson. Now that I am wed, Mother's attention may turn to you again, unless she is distracted.
Excuse me.
I'm wondering if you would be so kind as to save a dance for me at the next ball.
The
Finch ball.
Well.
Yes. That would be most adequate.
Good. Very good.
That was so smooth.
Lady Bridgerton, I see your openness reflected in Benedict, charm in Colin, your wisdom in Eloise, a brightness you have instilled in both Gregory and Hyacinth. I feel it in equal measure for the remarkable woman who raised her. Forgive me. Tears were the last thing I meant to evoke.
Hyacinth has been crying this entire time.
One day you too will have a heart. Mama, will you play a duet with me?
Bravo.
I will not let my lies spread any further than they already have.
Then how am I meant to help you?
By loving me. You've given me so much already. Just being you is enough. I do not need you to save me. I just need you to stand by me. To kiss me.
I want very much to do those things.
What is that restrains you?
I do not know.
She also wants you to sleep in her bed,
But I
not
don't know
on the
this.
couch.
Just help her.
As you live with this secret, there will always be something between us.
I know. Perhaps that is the key.
What are you saying?
Colin? I've received a letter from your wife.
We had better sit.
We had better sit.
As much as I've enjoyed the three of us together, I was hoping it could just be the two of us tonight.
Have you not enjoyed having Paul with us?
I have.
Very much, but my relationship with Paul is friendly, and I am beginning to care for you, Benedict.
More than friends.
What if we did allow things to grow more serious?
Tilly, you were extraordinary. But I'm not certain that serious is what I want. What has happened ever since I met you has made me realize how good it feels to be free. You've opened my world, and I'm not ready to close it again just now. Thought you wanted the same thing.
I did.
Apparently she thought so too.
Till I saw what it felt like to share you.
Even merriment can grow tiring. It felt good for once to want to commit to someone. Thank you for reminding me that is possible.
Isn't he invited up to her room?
Yeah.
She just
in
left
fact, that I find
him
myself
there.
yet again swinging to and fro, not moving in any particular direction.
Where's it you wish you were going? It feels right now that the next thing I might learn may change me entirely.
I agree profoundly with everything you have said, as I have absolutely no idea what you are talking about.
We should not let so long pass again between us before we meet on these swings to be entirely confused together.
She got the ostrich feathers and the purple orchids. There is 8-piece ensemble. Did we get them?
We got them.
Mama! Thank you!
What is the meaning of this?
Well, it must have been you. Who paid for all of this? Mama told me she wished for you to have the greatest ball Mayfair has ever seen. Thank you.
I am proud of you.
Forgive us, Your Majesty. We do not have a perch for you because we did not think you would accept our invitation.
It is not your invitation that brings me here. Cease playing. Placing her in an impossible situation from Lady Whistledown. She calls upon my mercy, asking to address you all herself before I pass my judgment. So I turn the floor over now to the scribe herself.
Not him. My apologies.
Her.
You can do it.
Should I say, dearest gentle readers, I know it is no laughing matter what I have done. In the beginning, I never thought anyone would take my writing seriously. Why should they? No one has ever taken any part of me seriously. I realize now how common that feeling must be. To be a young lady to whom no one listens. I wrote about all of you because I was captivated by you. And in writing about all of you, I suddenly felt as if I had a life. I had power. And for anyone in this room who has ever had a taste of that, you should know it can be intoxicating. But I was careless. But I see now how much courage it takes to live a life out in the open. To honor one's weaknesses publicly. Regardless of the outcome, one always has worth. All of us talk.
We gossip.
Gossip is information. It forges bonds. Especially for those of us who are told so little. But I can no longer conceal my identity. I am so very grateful to our queen for forcing me out of the shadows with her most cunning scheme. I mean to aim my quill more responsibly. That is my repentance and my plea.
She seems humble.
We will be watching that she remains so. What is life without a little gossip?
Louise's mouth is just open.
Oh, into the light.
Yep.
You're just standing in the light.
Now, Barney! The bugs!
Bugs? Butterflies. Yeah, the windows have been candles.
I didn't know there were going to be butterflies.
Like I said, bugs.
You are a genius.
I know.
Shall we
Like,
dance?
what did you think she was meaning when she said bugs?
They'll be beautiful, the bugs.
Like, did you want some creepy crawly bugs or something?
I don't know, that's what she was afraid there was gonna be.
Okay.
Because she kept calling them bugs instead of butterflies.
You cannot tolerate a lie?
Your last column.
Her Majesty was close when she assumed Whistledown was a Bridgerton protecting their own. There is only one person who loves the Bridgertons more than I.
You knew it was me.
I suspect it. Not the only lady of the town who can keep a secret. I look forward to your next edition.
You're a wonder.
Could not have done that without your support.
We can now tell that solicitor your money came from my writing. Time for us to do better.
Let go.
I have an amazing daughter.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I do not believe I've seen my mother so quickly shocked,
And also,
so quickly impressed.
I believe she's proud of you.
There is something I left out. That I would not object to an annulment if you requested one.
I do not wish for any harm to come to you.
The Queen herself has accepted you.
Ever since I found out you are Whistledown, I have done everything I can to try to separate you from her, and I realized you are her. You have always had one voice. There is no separating you from Whistledown. But that was bloody brilliant. I think in truth, I have been envious of you. How lucky I am to stand by you and soak up even a little bit of your light. Will you please do me the honor of joining me on the dance floor? Bridgerton.
You even made me tear up a little bit there. That doesn't happen often.
They all seem happy.
They do.
And you?
I'm positively elated because I've come up with a rather brilliant idea. Or a request, rather.
I simply wish to live for a little while outside our tiny bubble. I promise you I will give you your space.
As long as you stay in your wing of the castle.
We will be living in a proper castle.
We?
Eloise has asked to accompany us.
If that does not burden you, my lord.
Not at all. That is wonderful news, travel party. It gives me great pleasure to introduce...
Michaela Sterling.
I caution you.
Every sordid detail John has spoken about me is a lie. The truth is far worse. And you, Miss B?
I am... well, I'm Francesca Bridgerton Kilmartin.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Dearest gentle reader, self
Yes, and I've
suddenly
heard
at a
people
loss
get
for
very
words.
irate about that change, but I don't care.
My is
I
not
just
due to a
read the
desire
book
to put any
using
risque
her name in
couplings.
place of his name, and
Though
I thought
I
it
have
worked quite
heard
well. There's definitely
whispers of
things
a
in
few.
there that don't work for a
My
female versus a
restraint
male, but
comes of joy.
overall, I thought it did well to just change the name and every now and
feel they
then
have been wrong
alter
as humble
the
writer.
arrangements a bit.
My sincere, I wish you only
The Lord's cousin in the books is a male.
Only until next year. Do you think Mamma would ever miss her masquerade ball?
I will be there, hiding out behind a mask, avoiding eligible ladies like the plague.
I shall join you.
It has been quite a journey we have taken together. It is with the heaviest heart that I write this final short sentence as Lady Whistledown. Goodbye.
I still cannot fully believe you had a boy. Your father is always trying to distract with a clever word and a beguiling smile.
You think my smile's beguiling?
I'm glad we had daughters. One day become a great writer without any need of a husband.
That certainly runs in the family.
And with the retirement of my literary persona, I should like to formally introduce myself.
And hopefully, dear reader, you'll stay on to enjoy them with me as we begin this next part of our journey. Yours truly, Penelope Bridgerton.
That was very cute.
Guess now you know what Into the Light means.
Yep. I liked that ending. It did look though like the storyline on that definitely clashed with some of the storyline in the books that I've read so far. But I know they're gonna make adaptations. I definitely noticed there's some things that seem to be putting the timeline off. Either way, I thought it was a good episode. A little bit of crying, and apparently even my husband were tearing up, he said.
Find that hilarious.
Not hilarious, but it's sweet. I'll be excited to see how they approach Francesca's series. And Benedict's series, also. I just don't know that much about Benedict's whole thing. I don't think I've read his book yet. But I have read Francesca's. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt that, since they have changed the gender of the person.
Well, who's to say he doesn't have other cousins?
No. They've made it very clear that that is the cousin. And the author has talked about that change also. So it's not a hypothetical. It's already established. And like I said on one of the other episodes, I have started reading The Duke and I think I've gotten about halfway through. And since I've gotten off vacation, I am taking longer to read because I don't have as much time. Whereas when I was on vacation, I had more time to read. So I was going through the book a lot faster. And I don't read fast in the first place, so it takes me a while to get through these books. That's all I got for you this week. I'll see you next week.